one athlete I do admire is Lance Armstrong, because here's a guy who lost a testicle, but still keeps a positive attitude towards life. But I was thinking, you know, if I only had one nut, I wouldn't be that bummed out either. Because any time I laid down with an erection, it would just look like I had my own exclamation points. I'd be like, I didn't lose a testicle, I just gained punctuation. This is alright, you know, maybe if I had too much whiskey, it'd be like a semicolon, or lowercase j, or comma if it's cold out. My favorite part about that joke is you were all just imagining what that would look like. You have dirty minds, and I love it. Which is why I feel comfortable to go into this next bit. So I've been trying to do some dating recently, so I've been trying to learn new ways how to please the ladies. I've been trying to brush up on my cunnilingus skills, if you will. So I went to the highest source. I asked a lesbian. And apparently the proper technique is when you're down there, is you gotta spell out the alphabet with your tongue. And that was her. And I had a lot of questions for her, like, what font do I do this in? Do I stick with Times New Roman, or Comic Sans? Do I treat it like a Microsoft Word document? Do I adjust the margins? Do I do it in bold? Do I italicize the important parts? I'm just afraid to do underline, because I've never liked a butthole. So that's where I'm at there. So any online daters in here? Alright. Alright. So proud of that. So proud. Alright. Just no, that's cool. You know, honestly, I got no shame. I'm not gonna lie. I can type some mad game. You know? Like, I will totally cut and paste my way into a woman's heart. But I think the site you use for online dating really affects the outcome of the date. Like, the criteria for which you base a successful date on differs drastically depending on the site you met. So say, for instance, if you're out on an eHarmony date, halfway through you might text your friend, give them the heads up how it's going. Say something like, oh, things are going great, we have good chemistry, this could be the one. But then if it's like Plenty of Fish or OK Cupid, it's like, she's got 5 kids, but at least that means she puts out. Then if it's a Craigslist date, you're like, hey, so far so good, I haven't been stabbed and she doesn't have a dick. And here's one thing you see in a lot of women's profiles. A lot of the times they like to throw in a little bit of sass. And they'll throw out these cliche lines thinking that they're the only ones who said it. They'll say things like, I'm looking for a man, not a boy. Or my personal favorite, if you think this is going to be a one-night stand, keep looking. Which is why I want to make a profile that's the complete antithesis of that. I'm going to start getting sassy. Say things like, if you think I'm the type of guy who's just going to take you out to dinner with no expectations, move on. You think I'm here to meet your parents? You can meet the door, sister. But however, not all online dating messaging goes that smoothly. Sometimes a woman who appears to be cool can turn out to be a cold-hearted bitch. And I'd like to share with you an example. Now, just a preface, she seemed like a cool girl. Like, she seemed like this cool hipster chick. She had some tattoos. She had a septum piercing. Her interests were Adult Swim, Andrew WK, and crude jokes. So I'm thinking, shit, I think I'm in. I found my soulmate here. So she seemed cool, so I wanted to send her like a funny, unique message just to be noticed. So this is what I said to her, and this is all verbatim, by the way. Subject line, hi, I'm financially stable and disease-free. I'm interesting. I'm pretty much a catch. Occasionally I read books, which means I'm cultured. I'm a very busy person. I'm a stand-up comic, so when I'm not on stage making clever and insightful observations about genitalia, I'm usually busy volunteering at the local soup kitchen, reading to the blind, or taking care of retarded dolphins. I'm quite the humanitarian, and chicks dig that. Despite my busy schedule, I would still like to find someone, preferably a woman, I can share a deep connection with. So that's where you come in. Hope to hear back from you. By the way, most of that was made up except for the stand-up and the retarded dolphins. But you seem cool and down to earth, and I couldn't think of anything else to say in an online dating message besides the typical, "Hey, you look pretty. Want to go out?" So that's what I said to her. Whatever, it's cute and sweet, but sincere, not quirky. This was her response. "Dear faggot, I was not interested in your message whatsoever. I think I read the first 4 words and realized it's not worth my time. Sorry, better try the next profile. Yours truly, Andrea WK. P.S. Faggot." I know. Now, ladies, back me up here. I don't like to use the C word to describe anybody. But in this particular scenario, would it be justifiable to classify this woman as a C word?
Yes.
Good, because I thought so too. Which takes me to my next response. Dearest cunt. For a person whose interests include crude jokes, Adult Swim, and Andrew WK, you sure are a lame twat. If you had actually read my entire message, maybe you would have realized its jovial nature. I see you're a waitress. That's weird. I didn't know that the International House of Stupid Cunts was hiring. If you didn't like my message, you didn't have to respond, but apparently being a rude, dumb whore is more your style. Yours truly, good going, Owen. P.S. It must be hard to swab all the cum out of that hideous septum piercing after getting gangbanged at Bonnaroo. Go fuck yourself with a can of PBR, you hipster cunts. Yeah, so we have a date set up next week. And I'm bringing the PBR. So, where was I? So we've established we're all on the internet here, I assume, right? Okay. So anybody on Facebook? Anybody Facebook? You people? Yeah, I'm sure some of you are fucking Facebooking right as I speak. I don't know, that's the problem with Facebook. I feel like Facebook has become so time-consuming, I've actually hired illegal immigrants to take care of my farm bill. And here's what I hate the most about Facebook. I hate it when people will make Facebook updates as a way to get sympathy. Like the other day, this girl posted on her wall, she goes, "I was just in a really bad car accident. I'm pretty banged up, but I think I'm gonna make it." I'm like, if you're in a car accident and you're able to make a Facebook post about this immediately afterwards, I think you're gonna be okay. There's just something about a Facebook post that just depletes the severity of any situation. People will be like, "I'm in the ambulance, OMG. Not another stab wound, frowny face. Boy, this rapist sure has a tiny penis, LOL." It seemed nice and warm and receptive, so I feel like I can open up to you guys a little bit more. So I'm Caucasian. I told you I don't have a lot of segues, so that's the best I got. Which, you know, I'm not bragging or anything, but I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of advantages to being Caucasian. Like, for instance, like stereotypes have never limited the things I can do publicly. For instance, I was hanging out with my Jewish friend the other day, and anytime we go out, he always has to over-tip to compensate for the stereotype. And this kind of shit just never even crosses my mind. But I feel bad, because it's got to be tough for other races. Like, you could be a Middle Eastern guy, you could be a fan of karaoke. Just got to be more cautious of your song selection. Otherwise, it'll be like, please welcome to the stage, Mohammed! Thank you, thank you. I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know if I'll be back again. Come fly with me, let's fly away. You dropped a bomb on me. Etc., etc. Anyone not laughing?